When we have high expectations and a warm, connected relationship with our children, that's when kids do the best. Psychologist Dr. Todd Corelli shared that research with us a few months ago, and the conversation spun out from there. Take a look. And I like that you use the word warm.
And that's actually the research word is warmth.
Is warmth.
The warmth of your relationship, and I always think of it as the connectedness, the connection that you have with your child. That's where all the power is. That's where all the power is. And I always, when I work with families and they have problems like that, we always start with the relationship. What can you do to draw your child closer to you?
That was fascinating to me, that warm isn't just a casual term, an ooey-gooey like term of endearment. It's a clinical term as well. That knowledge sparked today's topic, how to be a warm parent. What does warmth in a relationship look like, and how do we invite that feeling into our home? Psychologist Dr. Todd Corelli joins me to tell us more. I love when we use people's words against them. Not really, but just to invite you back to share more. That was really fascinating to us, Dr. Corelli, that this idea that warmth, which I think innately a lot of women embody, mothers, grandmothers, there's actually data that backs up the benefit of that.
There is data. There's two things.
Okay.
We want to be demanding, and we want to be warm. And we know this from research, right? And so most of us kind of know to do both, but warmth is really, it's the magic.
What makes it so magical? What makes it so powerful?
Think of somebody that has your heart. Could be your dad, could be a favorite professor, a good friend, but just think of somebody that has your heart. You would do anything for them, right? And it's that same thing. It's kind of it's a basic relationship principle. When we are connected and we have a warmth in our relationship with somebody, we want to do things for it. So it's really, to me, it is the secret sauce of parenting that's sitting right in front of our noses and we don't even know it. And it's everything, it's influence.
So as you apply this term to the parental relationship, describe a warm parent. What does that look like?
A parent who, so there's lots of terms. A parent who is connected. I always think of it like heart to heart.
Yeah.
Like if I can get a tether from my heart to my child's heart.
That invisible string.
That invisible string.
Yeah.
That draws them to me. I don't have to push them to do anything. So it's warmth, it's connection, it's attachment, it's bond. Like there's all those words basically mean the same thing.
I always try to ask the solution-seeking or positive question. I think that's the most impactful. But I do think that as we're trying to learn how to be or how to act, it's helpful to know the not, the negative. So what is a warm parent not?
A warm parent is not overly permissive.
Okay.
A warm parent is not somebody who has no boundaries. A warm parent is not somebody who fixes and rescues all the time. Remember, we still have to be structured and demanding, and ideally at least. Yeah. Right?
Is there a physicality to this? Is there affection or positive touch? Does that play into it?
For sure. Yeah. Yes. Now, some of us are more physically affectionate than others.
True. Yeah.
Right? I'm very much that way, and I have to rein myself in because not everybody else wants me to hug them. Right? Yeah. But yes, definitely.
Let's talk about how we could be a warm parent, how we could be more warm with our children. First, you say simply show up.
So this is the easiest thing we can do. We just have to be present. And I always think of my daughter's high school principal, Mr. Wilkie. Every kid loved Mr. Wilkie, and I could not figure out why, because I did not like my principal. And I wondered, like, why do they love Mr. Wilkie so much? Yeah. And then I noticed he was at the girls' JV volleyball games. He was at the track meets.
He was there.
He was there. Yeah. And when he was there, kids would come up and talk to him, and he was just with them.
You say parents can learn their kids' love language, and this is so interesting. Mark and I just had this chat, kind of like pillow talk the other night. What are our kids' love languages? And I immediately knew all but one, and I had to think on that a little bit. But it's really insightful to know how they receive affection and love.
Oh, I love this. In fact, when I first read this, I thought, oh, this is silly stuff. This is not research. And then I tried it. I took my daughter on a date. Yeah. She was 15. She's 25 now. We still remember this. I took her to a Village Inn. We had a piece of pie, and I gave her the love languages test. And I was shocked at the result.
Were you?
Yeah, because she was not a physically affectionate kid. She was a kid who wanted my time, right? Yeah. So.
And finally, say less, listen more. In the 30 seconds we have together, what is the impact there?
I just think empathy is the great connector. Yeah. And when we listen to our kids and we empathize with them. So when they come to us with something difficult, we spend more time listening than telling them what to do. That connects us to them.
This is such it's interesting when the sensibilities or the natural inclination, I think, of our human hearts line up with the data. It's instinct.
It's
yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Where can we get more from you?
All my socials are Dr. Todd Talks. I have a podcast, Dr. Todd Talks, and I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Give him a follow, give him a listen. We'll link you up with all of those website connections on our website. Thanks again, Dr. Corelli.